Okay, welcome back. You're still with us here on Editors Roundtable. Pankaj, of course, is with us. Pankaj, that Tata Group, Tata Sons listing, right? I mean, we can argue and say if Tata Sons is a NBFC or not, but well, the RBI has classified them as an upper layer NBFC. But what's your sense from a listed perspective? Is there what do you like in that group and this particular rationale, holding in Tata Sons? How do you look at that?
So I think it goes back to the basics of investing. That when do you reward a group or a company? When the management starts taking right capital allocation calls. And this goes back to when Chandra took the reins. I'm a great admirer of that leader. And his core focus was that look at every company and make sure that incremental capital allocation start yielding better returns. Second, whatever investments have been done, how do we improvise that so that headline return on capital starts to look better? And cash flow orientation. I think these three things has re-rated the entire Tata Group and every company in the group substantially. And when we interact with different managements of Tata Group companies, the one thing which we take away from them, that every management is prudent about capital allocation. And that's coming from the top. So full marks to Chandra from where he took the entire Tata Group market cap to where it is today. I think they have done a phenomenal job. And I think they are rightly positioned in the India growth story. A lot of things which you are seeing new is coming to Tata Group, semiconductors, electrical, renewals, all of them, the new growth engine and the businesses. So I think they have the old businesses and the new businesses. So I think this group has done phenomenally well. And full marks to Chandra and the entire team to execute that.
And what they've also done is they've diversified away from just Tata Consultancy or TCS earlier was the largest
market
pool or the bellwether for them, and now others are also handling.
No, absolutely. Mangalam, it's Women's Day, right? Tomorrow.
Yes.
And you putting the spotlight on some of the women leaders, especially in the consumer space.
In the consumer space, because every consumer conference call that you listen to, everyone alludes to the customer as a she. And the customer is a she. So why shouldn't the leaders be a she as well? And that's exactly what I'm talking about, the women power in the consumer space. Well, ahead of Women's Day, let's talk about the true trailblazers of the consumer space, these wonderful women leaders who I enlisted from India's consumption space. Of course, this is an indicative list and not an exhaustive list. So we start with Falguni Nair, an inspirational leader who started Nykaa after she turned 50 and had an illustrious investment banking career behind her as well. It's not only about the wealth that they created, it's also about the impact. And the other one on that is Ghazal Alag, the co-founder of Honasa, a company that owns the brand Mama Earth. Again, a pioneer in the digital-first beauty personal care products, which has a lot of the other industry leaders eyeing that space after her as well. Speaking about another leader, Hina Nagarajan has been at the helm of Diageo India, a company and an industry which is usually considered male-dominated because of the alcohol nature, but she again has been a true trailblazer out there. Then you speak about a bunch of other leaders as well. The most celebrated appointments among the ones in the last 2 years in the consumer space was that of Prabha Narasimhan to the helm of Colgate after 2 decades of experience and leadership at HUL. Her growth of the Colgate, or rather oral care as a category, is something that the street is pinning all the hopes on. From the unlisted space, the distinctive leader is Vinita Singh, not only known for her business, but expertise at one of the shows that celebrates startups as well. And speaking about startups, the founder of Baby Chakra and the co-founder of the Good Glam Group, Naya Sagi, is another true trailblazer in the consumer space and a leader in the consumption space of India as well. We have Jyoti MR, helming the company that was named after her by her father, MP Ramachandran, Jyoti Labs. As she took over as the MD after a decade of being in the marketing department of the company, she's created a fair amount of wealth and grown faster than the industry on most parameters as well. Geetika Mehta is another strong leader in the consumption space who now helms Nivea India after a year of experience at Hershey's India business, but behind her is also a lot of experience at the leadership factory that is Hindustan Unilever. Neetu Kashiramka, she was erstwhile CFO of VIP Industries and now recently taken over as the MD. It remains to be seen what she delivers at this company, which is currently facing a fair amount of market share loss as well. So tough leader for tough times for that company. And we have to speak about Deepika Bhan, who's the CEO of the foods business in Tata Consumer, responsible for the growth of Tata Salt and Tata Pulses. But now to her KRA would be adding the scaling up of the Ching's business that they recently acquired as well. And no list of iconic women leaders of Indian origin in the consumer space can be complete without speaking about Indra Nooyi, the pioneer, the former CEO of PepsiCo Global. And she's not the only one. We have some important Indian origin leaders helming global companies in the consumption space as well. Leena Nair, again from Hindustan Unilever, helming Chanel Inc. Right now. And then you have Vimeo's Anjali Sood, who's now the CEO of Tubi. We all celebrated Anjali Sood as much as we celebrated the listing of Vimeo. And finally, we have Sonia Singhal, the erstwhile CEO of Old Navy and Gap Inc., taking the fast fashion forward. And this is all about women power in the consumer space, speaking about future female forward.
So that's an interesting sort of list of women leaders and what they've done for their respective businesses. And of course, I mean, keeping the flag high for the consumer sector.
Yes, keeping the flag high for the consumer sector. And on that note, what we will do is we will take our little break as well and enjoy the long weekend.
Yeah,
enjoy the long weekend.
Looking forward.
That's what we'll do. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Editors Roundtable. And for all you lovely women out there, a very, very happy Women's Day.